Victor Gollancz Ltd was a major British book publishing house of the 20th century. It was founded in 1927 by Victor Gollancz and specialised in the publication of high-quality literature, non-fiction and popular fiction, including crime, detective, mystery, thriller and science fiction. Upon Gollancz's death in 1967, ownership passed to his daughter, Livia, who sold it to Houghton Mifflin in 1989. 3 years later, in October 1992, Houghton Mifflin sold Gollancz to the publishing house Cassell and Amp Co. Cassell and Orion Publishing Group were acquired by Hachette in 1996, and in December 1998 the merged Orion-Cassell Group turned Gollancz into its science fiction, fantasy imprint. Origins as a political house, Gollancz was left-inclined in politics and a supporter of socialist movements. This is reflected in some of the books he published. Victor Gollancz commissioned George Orwell to write about the urban working class in the north of England. The result was The Road to Wigan Pier. His break with Orwell came when he declined to publish Orwell's account of the Spanish Civil War, Homage to Catalonia, the pair having drifted apart on political grounds. He did publish The Red Army Moves by Geoffrey Cox on the Winter War, which was critical of the Soviet attack on Finland, but also foresaw that the Red Army would defeat the Germans. He also published works by German exiles, such as Hilde Meisel. Gollancz was the original publisher of a number of famous authors and the books, including George Orwell with Down and Out in Paris and London in 1933. Alfred Eyre with Language, Truth and Logic in 1936. A.J. Cronin with The Citadel in 1937. Daphne du Maurier with Rebecca in 1938. Kingsley Amis with Lucky Jim in 1953. Colin Wilson with The Outsider in 1956. E.P. Thompson with The Making of the English Working Class in 1963. Anthony Price with The Labyrinth Makers in 1971. Many of Gollancz's books were published in one of the familiar house dust jackets, of which the most famous was Bright Yellow, with the title and author rendered in a vibrant bold typography. Transition to science fiction and fantasy genres. In 1998 Gollancz was developed into a science fiction and fantasy imprint, Gollancz Science Fiction, after it was acquired by Orion Publishing Group. Gollancz then proceeded to manage the SF Masterworks series, previously overseen by Orion's sister imprint Millennium. Gollancz has published award-winning and award-nominated books by, among others, expansion into manga. In 2005 Gollancz set up a manga publishing arm, Gollancz Manga, which published UK editions of various Viz Media properties. As of 2014, Gollancz no longer publish manga, and Viz Media have re-released the publisher's series. The following titles have been published. SF Gateway website. In 2011, Gollancz launched the SF Gateway website, an online library that features out-of-print science fiction books republished as e-books. Gollancz aims to make 5,000 or more books available by 2014, and the website will be integrated with the online encyclopedia of science fiction. Accolades. In terms of the number of published works that have been nominated for major awards, Gollancz ranks as one of the field's top publishers of science fiction, fantasy and horror fiction.